Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At cprfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at cprfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs and on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the Global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. It is Tuesday, January the 7th. I hope all of you are doing well this evening, especially my people in New York. I heard that y'all are being literally extorted to the point that now the streets are clear. Y'all being charged with this congestion tolls. That should be illegal. Now, I tell you what, taxpayers pay for the streets, right? And I never understood this toll road stuff they're doing all over the nation. You paying to drive on roads that you already paid for through your taxes. You have to understand, America and the way it goes, if you really think about like how much they tax us, it's literally a scam. If you think about taxes, right? Okay, so let's talk about it just for a few minutes. The stream not about taxes. Let's just talk about the scam of it. It's like a scam. Now, originally they came here because the king was overtaxing them, right? The king over there in England, taxing them too much. They didn't want to be taxed, so they wanted a place they can go where they wouldn't be overbearing with tax. And they literally repeated the same system, probably worse than what the king was doing. So you work, you get your check per hour. Right? Okay, cool. Or you're an entrepreneur, you get paid, whatever. You get your check, you charge federal income tax. Some states, you have a state tax. My state of Texas don't have a state tax. Then you have a Social Security that you're paying into that you're not even putting in for you. You're paying into it for other people who's retired, right? Then you got a Medicare that you're not even getting. That's other people getting what you're paying for it, right? Okay, now if you do your 401, whatever the case may be. All right. So your federal tax supposed to be going to, infrastructure, the function of the government, military, whatever the case may be. So your state taxes or whatever goes to roads, bridges, they upkeep, whatever, right? So you're driving on roads that your tax dollars are paying for. You get a car that you purchased with your own money, and you was taxed on that too, on the money you was already taxed when you got your check. You have to have a driver's license. They tell you in states, a driver's license is a privilege, not a right. So they control if you can drive your own vehicle that you purchased and pay taxes on with the money you already paid taxes on. They tell you got to get a registration sticker. You have to have insurance, all of that. Or you can't drive the car that you purchased on streets that your taxes go to. Even if you don't have a car, you're still paying for those streets. Okay. All right, fine. Then you're on the road driving, and there are toll roads on roads that your taxes already paid for, and they're going to tax you again for driving a toll road. And if you don't pay it, then they'll prosecute you. Well, you build up enough tolls. They'll prosecute you or send you collections or whatever for driving on roads that your taxes already paid for. Everybody pays taxes, right? You pay sales tax. You pay income tax. You pay tax on when you go purchase something, like when you pay your bills, you're paying a tax, right? Fees for this, fees for that. If you're a business owner, right, you have to charge sales tax to the customers. When you get money as a business owner, right, you're going to be taxed on that money too. And if you have to pay yourself, you're taxed on that. I mean, we have so much taxes. We have to pay insurance, like home insurance, and the insurance companies can deny your claim. You have health insurance, but they can deny your claim, right? But they could take your money for 10 years, right? You've been healthy for 10 years. And the 1 year that you was hospitalized, the 1 year that you had some health challenges, now they talking about denying you and dropping you, but they didn't deny you taking your money for the past 10 years. Well, you was paying on that bill. You understand? Same thing with your car insurance. You ain't had an accident in about 20 years. You have one, now they want to drop you or jack up your prices so high. And they so cold with the car insurance nowadays is that, back in the day it was car insurance would be real high when you're young. Then if you get married while young, it'll drop a little bit. After 26 for a guy, it would drop. If you get you're older, it would really drop. As long as you didn't have a bunch of tickets and accidents. How is it that even if you're older, your stuff keep going up? It keep going up. And they want to say inflation, this and that. I'm telling y'all, this whole system, yeah, you're right, Keisha. You never really own your own car, house, or land in America. Because if you buy a house or land and you don't pay property taxes on it, then the state or city could come snatch the home right from underneath you. That is the one thing about America I think the first time I traveled and I talked to people in different countries and I'm like, wait a minute, so you buy your house, it's yours, you have to pay nothing no more? I said, no, Like we have to pay some taxes, cause we buying it, but once it's my land, once it's my house, they don't ask me for no money no more. It's like, and they was like, they do that to y'all in America? They charge you for your stuff that you already bought? Like, yeah, like, what kind of country is that? Y'all don't know how many conversations I've had with people in different countries, whether it's the African continent, whether it's when I was in Turkey or whatever, and everybody hear how a system run, and they say, why they do y'all that? And you really left with a dumbfounded look. Like, yeah, why do they do us that? Why are we accepting that? So what's happening in New York right now, they have this congestion fee, tax, whatever. And if you drive into Manhattan based on what you're driving, at minimum, they charge you $9. Think about this. Now, we talk about the tolls here in Texas, $1.25. They charging them $9 to cross into Manhattan. And if you have the bigger cars or whatever, they can charge you up to $21. I'm like, what kind of crap the Democrats got going on in New York? Like, where's the lawyers at? Like, all you lawyers across the country, why aren't y'all suing about these things? Y'all lawyers in America, are y'all lazy? Like, Johnny Cochran couldn't be the only attorney. My Lord, y'all don't sue for nothing. But y'all sue for stupidity. What you say? Tax is almost the only source of income of public servants and federal, state, and say county going down. Let's say, look, you can do a flat tax. I'm a firm believer of a flat tax, like no sales tax, no whatever, just a flat tax on everything people buy. You got to buy food. You got to buy everything, right? Cars, whatever we buy, have a flat tax. And I think that's enough. I don't think you need to be overtaxing people, but that's just my opinion. These people's system. The only thing you can do is either figure out a way, to save on tax or don't live in a system, right? Also, I just seen, and I was shared this, a bunch of people just recently got their citizenship in Ghana. Jay Cameron, he was there, the brother we're going to do the Ethiopia tour with. And Dr. Umar Johnson got his citizenship in Ghana as well, that I saw on there. And Juan Gale was actually at the event where that happened at. So I saw a lot of those pictures, and she shared some things with me about, her trip to Ghana. And some people was clowning Dr. Umar, though, talking about, oh, he got his citizenship and he got right back on that plane to come to America. I thought that was kind of funny. Shoot, if you give me a citizenship, man, I'm gonna feel obligated. I got to build something in that country. I can't just not have myself set up over there. But maybe he'll do FDMG, Accra. I don't know. Me personally, just my opinion. He would open up his school a lot faster if he go open it up in Accra, Ghana. He actually would. Less regulation. He can actually buy the land, and it'd be, depends on, make sure you buy the land from the right people so you don't get scammed. But I think he can open up a lot faster over there than he could here. I'm just being honest with you. And you would have more help over there than here, because here, reality speaking, to get the help that you need, it's going to cost you a grip. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So I think since he got his citizenship, then he should open up the FDMG over there, right? All right. With that being said, the only thing I'm saying is, if you have a citizenship, this is just my opinion, make sure you're investing into that country, because not every person from the diaspora have the opportunity to get a citizenship. So if you got it, you're a dual citizen, you can move around whatever you want, do what you want. Well, actually invest into that country, like open up a business, hire some people, do something. Because they didn't have to give you that citizenship. Now, I give Ghana this. Ghana is like the only African country that I've seen. I mean, Sierra Leone is doing it too. But Ghana has been real on the forefront of reaching out and bringing people there from the diaspora. So I can't say nothing about Ghana. That's not a country nobody can talk really much about. Of course, it's a different system. Of course, it's not America. That's for sure. But Ghana did, at least reach out. So nobody can't say much about that. So I give Ghana that much. All right. So before I get to Mayor Brandon Johnson, I want to get to something else that came across my desk, a compilation of videos. And I got to ask the folks a question. For some years, we have been a minority in this country. And it seems like you having a problem with facing the fact that you're becoming a minority globally. Well, you've been a minority. You're only 7% of the world's population. Let's just call it what it is. You've been a minority. But even in your own countries, you're becoming a minority. And that's scaring some of you. Let me play this clip, a little compilation clip of the folks talking about the census in the UK from 2011 and even the last one they took in 2021. I want y'all to listen to this and pay attention to how the tone of these people. Just pay attention. I got to ask the folks a question. Let me get this. Cue this up.
For the first time ever, the number of people who class themselves as white British is now a minority in London. The 2011 census results out today show 45% of Londoners are now white British, while Barking and Dagenham has seen the biggest change of all.
Children from white families in Birmingham are set to become a minority group for the first time when this year's census is collected in March.
Population forecasts seen by the BBC's Politics show suggest that more than half of children under 16 in the city are from black and Asian communities. Birmingham could become a minority white city within the next 10 to 15 years.
Children at Chadvale Primary in Edgbaston speak 20 different languages. Just a fifth of pupils here are white. The Pakistani community in Birmingham is expected to double over the next 20 years.
A report from the UK shows white British people will soon be outnumbered by Muslim migrants in the city of Birmingham. One America's Pearson Sharp explained how the reversal in population has also brought with it a wave of violent crime.
This is Birmingham in the 1960s, a quaint little city in central England full of farmland, churches, and a bustling city center that enjoyed a very low crime rate and picturesque historic streets. Flash forward a few decades. These images aren't from Iran, Iraq, or Afghanistan. No, this is modern-day Birmingham. A new report shows native Britons are on their way to becoming a minority in their own homeland. The latest demographics from Birmingham reveals that nearly half of those in the UK's most multicultural city are migrants or foreign-born. Experts say that white Brits will soon be outnumbered as the city continues to swell with residents from Africa and the Middle East.
Yesterday, in the census figures from the 2021 census, in which it now says that white British people are a minority in 3 of the UK's largest cities, and Christianity is now a minority religion.
Britain, it alleges, has become the Western capital for Sharia courts.
Yes, that's right, and the number of courts that have opened is now up to about 85.
The former mill town of Oldham attracted mass migration from South Asia in the 50s and 60s. But a generation on, barriers are still to be broken down, which even residents admit means parts of the town are virtually segregated.
English society, more than other parts of the UK, is growing increasingly hostile to immigration. In parts of many major cities, white faces are a rarity, except if they're Polish. In an England where multiculturalism lies in pieces, Luton exemplifies just how much has gone wrong. This small town, just 20 minutes north of London, has become synonymous to the British media with everything that's wrong with Islam. The other week, an entire family of 12 left this street and headed off to join the caliphate in Syria. This week, 2 men from this boring-looking road were up in court, accused by the police of a plan to blow up a military base. And on the main street, sitting with a coffee, is a convert currently on bail after allegedly distributing leaflets in central London supporting ISIL.
Okay, so I got a question for the folks. Like, what are y'all afraid of? Well, what are y'all afraid of? Now, let me talk about all that immigration that's going into Europe. And then we're going to talk about even a lot of the immigration that come here to America, too, because it's all the same. Canada got a lot of immigration coming in there. Why are all these people coming to countries that's, ran by white people? Why? Is it just such a better place? Well, let's think about what made these countries such a great place to be. United States. They took my ancestors to build this country. They couldn't build it on their own. When they tried to build on their own, they was cannibalizing each other within a year when they tried to do their first colony. They didn't get nothing popping until we got involved. That's number one. That's here. Slavery, not just here, but slavery in Brazil, slavery all up in Europe. It was slavery all over the place in Europe, right? And African people from several places, several different ethnic groups were enslaved, and they were there and built those nations up. Even after World War II, you went down there to Jamaica and got the Jamaicans to rebuild, the UK after World War II, called the Windrush, right? And then after the Jamaicans built y'all back up, Now y'all want to kick the Jamaicans out? The Jamaicans, in my opinion, shouldn't go nowhere. Why? They built that land up. Y'all shouldn't be enjoying nothing. So what's catching up with y'all is this. You went to everybody's homeland and you took resources, you took out leaders. If the leaders didn't want to go along with you, you either, had a coup or you took their life. One of the two. If they didn't want to go along with you, if they wanted to be a good leader for their own people. You understand? And you did that all over Latin America. You did that in the continent of Africa. You did that in the Middle East. You did that in Asia. You did that everywhere, right? You colonized a lot of places. And in order for you to stay on top, everybody else has to be in squalor. Well, because all these other countries you left in squalor, they see you got the resources that's coming from their country. On top of them being in squalor, the few people who could actually help their people get out of squalor, you pick them out of their country. They call it the brain drain, the H-1B visa thing. And you bring them to America. You bring them to Canada. You bring them to the UK. You bring these people here who's the exceptional people out of their countries. And then they're there, right? So everybody's trying to rush and get into these white-controlled European countries. But think about it. Everything that you're enjoying, you stole. You look at chocolate, right? Oh, boy, Godiva chocolate is so good. Do you know where chocolate come from? Raw chocolate be coming from Ghana. Raw chocolate be coming from that's one of the major hubs of raw chocolate. Right? These people don't harvest no raw chocolate. Y'all take all kind of resources from the continent of Africa, keep those people in squalor, and why? So y'all can enjoy it. So the people basically saying, well, I'm going over to enjoy the resources you stole from my homeland anyway. I'm going. And what's happening to y'all is two things. Mass immigration that y'all created. All you had to do was treat these people nice and keep them in their homeland. But no, you wanted to keep everybody in squalor. And then number two, the womb of your woman is not producing. And if your woman is producing, she's producing with men outside of the men in her community. Have you noticed that? She'll have a gang of kids with a black man. She'll have a gang of kids with an Arab. She'll have a gang of kids with an Asian. But she ain't having a gang of kids with her own men. That's part of the problem. Those two things right there. So you fear being a minority. Why? Why do you fear being a minority? I thought being a minority wasn't a bad thing. I thought, when we talked about these things, you say we were being victims, right? Or we victim mentality. So what is wrong with it? This is what I think you fear. And I'm gonna leave it at this so I get to Brandon Johnson. I think you fear when your numbers get low and all these people going to be put in remembrance of what you did to them when your numbers was plentiful. And when you had all these bombs and guns and colonization and slavery, and you fear when these people think about it one day, they're going to say to themselves, well, he who leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's your fear. Not my fear, but that's your fear. But, life is a full circle. And you have to understand, the world going to return back to what it originally was. The original world was black folks was running the world. And it's going to return back to that, whether they like it or not. That's not me doing pseudo anything. I just know how the world works. They had their time, their dispensation of time, and they trying everything they can to hold on. But let me tell y'all when I knew the time was ticking. 2019. That was the year. 2019. You will go into a land not of your own for 400 years. And then after the 400 years, I'll bring you out and I'll judge those people that had you in captivity. And have you noticed ever since 2019, every year Their global standing, have you paid attention to it? We're talking about global, not just one country, but globally, their entity, the Western countries. Have you noticed their global standing has been just going down each year? Like, people don't take them serious as much. Like, have you noticed that? Like, they say something, people are like, care about them. Have you noticed that? At one point in time, they said something, people are like, oh, shoot, they talking. Pay attention to that. 2025, I've been preaching this for a while. 2030, watch their standing in the world by 2030. These 5 years' time, they all worried about Trump. Trump is the last thing they need to be worried about. Trump is actually trying to save them, but he's not going to be able to save you. He's not going to be able to save any of you. Get with the, I guess you want to say, New World Order, where you're not going to be at the top. Just get used to it and try your best just to get along. Now, those people will be fine, but those of you who don't want to get along, that's that. All right. So. Let's get to Mayor Brandon Johnson out of Chicago. And I ain't want to go there tonight, but when a video pops up on my feed, I feel like, I need to address this. I have to do it. Got to move with the inspiration and the Lord putting in my heart to talk about at that time. So your boy Mayor Brandon Johnson in Chicago, one of y'all favorite mayors, who don't work for, FBAs or even the citizens and residents of Chicago. We'll make sure to say that, not just FBAs. He was recently interviewed, and you see the title. Let's hear what Mayor Brandon Johnson has to say here, because this guy here, he's a piece of work. Let's go and cue up Brandon Johnson.
To grow our economy. Now, there are some things that we differ on. Obviously, that there's no secret there. But one of the things that's important is that as a state, we're all united as Democrats to ensure that the people of Chicago get the full support from the federal government, because we know as the city of Chicago goes, the rest of the state goes. As the state goes, the region goes. And as the region goes, the rest of the country goes.
What about his immigration czar? He's almost taunting Chicago and saying, I'm going to come and base here.
Well, I mean, listen, we don't get into that, level of back and forth. Here's what we've said from the very beginning. We need comprehensive immigration reform policy. That's been my position from the very beginning. In fact, Republicans believe in that too. In fact,
but that hasn't happened. What are you going to do?
So that's what I'm saying, that this has to happen. Now that he has control of the House and the Senate, what needs to happen is comprehensive immigration reform. Even Republicans agree with that.
In the meantime, what will happen in Chicago?
And what happened in Chicago?
What will happen in Chicago? Should this be the base for rounding up those who are not considered legal citizens?
Oh, well, look, we're a welcoming city. Our police department will adhere to the law, and our police department will not behave as federal agents, right? And that's very clear. I mean, we've been a welcoming city for a generation now. And so it's incumbent upon our police department to continue to build confidence with the community, and our police department will not serve as federal agents.
Okay, so you kept hearing him repeat that about a couple of times, that the Chicago Police Department will not act as federal agents. They will not assist federal law enforcement in, following the laws of the United States of America. So if you see the title, that I have on the screen here about he's fine with Chicago police locking up FBAs, but not illegal migrants. That's offensive to me. That's anybody who live in a sanctuary city. That's offensive, number one. And discrimination, number two. How come these people who aren't even citizens of the United States of America get special treatment? They're getting special treatment that you don't get. Now, if any kind of federal law enforcement was looking for you, they wouldn't say in Chicago, oh, well, don't call us. You have to go get him on your own. Because we're not going to round up. We're not federal police, right? They would be assisting them in getting you. But when it comes to illegal migrants in the city, Brandon Johnson and the Democrat Party are protecting them. This way goes back to what I said earlier about the lawyers. Where are the lawyers? Where are the lawyers filing lawsuits? Where's the Edward Bloom of the world filing lawsuits on these sanctuary cities? Where's the conservative lawyers filing lawsuits on these sanctuary cities? Why hasn't nobody brought lawsuits up about that? Most people in the country don't support a sanctuary city because, first of all, it's just not right. Number two, the money should be prioritized to the citizens who are paying taxes in that city. Then in Chicago, when they try to bring it up and put it on the ballot like a functioning democracy, right? And let the residents have a say-so, and if they wanted it, fine. But he blocked it. Mayor Brandon Johnson blocked the sanctuary city vote. That's why I don't want to hear nothing from Democrats, to me, about, we're about democracy, and, the Republicans, they're not about democracy. No. Y'all don't believe in democracy. Y'all don't. Y'all never believed in democracy. You don't even believe in the rule of law. You come up with these sanctuary city policies, spending taxpayer money. Go back to what we talked about earlier. All this taxpayer money that could be going back into your pocket. The taxpayer money that they could be using to negotiate lower food prices, lower drug prices, or opening up the city for competition where people could come in. Because I tell you what, if I had to be a mayor or whatever, I would open up the city to anybody want to come in, and I don't care if they're foreigners, to lower them prices. Because one thing that a lot of these American companies don't want to do is compete with people like China and others. Because they'll come in and have them prices so low, and that's what would make, everybody will go over there, and that's what make them lower them prices. But you want to see, they want to put a congestion tax on New Yorkers, but they want to spend billions of dollars on the migrants. Why don't you go get that money back from them migrants? Why are you charging people in the city of New York who pay for them roads? Brandon Johnson running around here, he don't care if Chicago police arrest FBAs and put them in Cook County Jail. He don't care about that. But when Tom Homan come through there with ICE and say, hey, I need him, her, and her. Oh, no, my police ain't doing that. You can go get them, but my police ain't doing nothing. That's not right to me, y'all. Yeah, and that money, you're right, Keisha, that money could be used for reparations. All that money, that's why I told them. I said, you folks don't want to pay reparations? I said that. You're going to pay way more with that migrant crisis than you'll ever pay with reparations. Reparations actually will be cheap for you to pay. And these people, it's not a one-time payment they're getting. And like last night, they're getting free money and free stuff. Then they're taking the money they're getting and sending it back to their homeland where they people at. And they are been so entitled to get our money and send money back to their homeland that their own presidents don't want them back. That was a crazy, crazy video from last night. That the president of Honduras don't even want her own people back. Because she wants them to get that free ride in America and be sending money back so she'll actually have to do her job and get her people out of poverty. I don't know what Trump and them going to do, but if Trump's DOJ can start suing, I think that'd be the first thing that they need to do. Start suing the sanctuary cities. Definitely cut off the federal funding. That's number one. And I know they're going to do that. But also sue these sanctuary cities, sue them where they can't spend taxpayer dollars on nothing with illegal migrants. Now, if someone's here legally and they got, their paperwork and whatever they're doing, that's a different story. But we talking about illegal immigration. No taxpayer dollars should be going to any of that. Now, if someone got a nonprofit or something, if they want to do that, that's private money. You can't really say much about private money. But when it comes to taxpayer funded things, no. But Brandon Johnson, his approval rating is like, 76% of the people in the city of Chicago want him gone. Basically, Brandon Johnson going to be a one-term mayor. He keep this up. But Brandon Johnson is more excited about bringing business in and investment. The Democrats love to talk about business and investment and how many jobs, but it never trickles down to the people. So who really doing the investment? And these people that you're bringing in that's investing and hiring people, who are they hiring? Because all the migrants is probably who they're hiring. Because they don't have to pay them a whole lot of money an hour like they would have to pay an American from Chicago. So really, what are you doing? See, I want y'all to understand, because the Democrats gonna try to, they're gonna select their new leader or whatever for the DNC. They're gonna try to rebrand themselves in certain ways. But I'm telling you, the Democrats are the same. Being pro-immigration. Listen, if the immigrants wasn't, bothering or taking resources from black people, I wouldn't say nothing. Y'all know me. I'm not gonna say much of nothing if it don't affect our community. But if it starts affecting our community, then I'm gonna say something. And Chicago, New York, has been taking a lot of money from FBAs and giving it to illegal migrants who chose to come here. These are economic migrants. These aren't people coming from a war zone in Afghanistan somewhere. They're coming here because I want a better life. Yeah, and so do Americans. We want a better life as well. Where do we go for a better life? You got this luxury to come up here because you want a better life, or go make that better life on your own. Why is it that it's our job to make your life better? You didn't contribute nothing to the United States of America to have the way it is, this country the way it is. But yeah, you want to come here talking about I want a better life. They got people making a better life right in your homeland. Or maybe they went to the next country over and made a better life. We don't have infinite resources to it's the whole world to come here talking about, I want a better life. What about the life of your people in your homeland? You can't make their life better too in the process? You can't make your country great? Where you can leave a legacy for your kids and your kids' kids? Your mindset is to run up here because the American government we got at least right now is silly and giving you just free stuff and you didn't earn it. But when black folks want some food stamps, white folks complaining. When black folks want some Section 8 that they still got to pay some rent on, they complaining. Black women want some WIC, they complaining. Well, these migrants have gotten way more money than a black woman on a food stamp, Section 8, or some WIC. Because they don't even give you a whole lot of money on those programs anyway. Y'all so worried about pocket watching black people. And these other people that came right on into the country, and so many of them have come into the country nowadays that now is getting y'all attention. Because y'all really outnumbered, and you know that, but you don't want to put that on screen. So your way of act like your numbers is up is to classify all these different groups of people as white. But let's call it what it is. These people aren't put in the white circle. On paper, you're calling them white to fluff up your numbers, right? You'll do that. But when it comes down to the get down white supremacy, you're not going to let these people in there at the top of white supremacy. See, you don't want an accurate count in this country. You don't want an accurate count because you're going to know that you are the minority. I know you're the minority, and even in America too. If we had an accurate count of everybody, you can put a person down by their ethnicity, right? And put everybody down and none of this white non-Hispanic, white Hispanic thing. No. If they are Mexican, Cuban, if they are Afghani, whatever, that part should be put down and say, okay, we got so many Afghani people here, we got so many Mexicans, so many Cubans, so many whatever, and not put them people in the white category, right? Because that white Latino thing, they are actually white Latinos. They are. Yes, they are actual white Latinos. It's true. Spain, that's a whole country full of white Latinos. So that's completely true. On this side of the hemisphere, if you know the history, you know, their admixture is going to be the indigenous peoples of this side. Then it's going to be some African, and then it's going to be, you know, that European that spoke Spanish or Portuguese, right? At least with them. So those people not even accepted in Spain. They are looked down upon in Spain. They don't like them. And that's just the truth. Many people tell you that, you know, that come from this side. Some of them are way too dark, especially like the people like the Oaxacans and, you know, those indigenous people like that. No. Like the ones like Nuri Martinez and them, they didn't like the Oaxacans. Why? Because they too dark. They didn't like them. Because, you know, in Latin America, you know, colorism is a big thing. Just like in India, you know, you talk about the caste system, it's just colorism. It's a big thing. You know, white supremacy have really screwed up a lot of people's minds. Because that's so stupid. 7% of the population of the whole globe is screwing up y'all minds. Like, that's why, you know, people going to slowly wake up to that and say, what in the world we've been doing? Why are we saying that something wrong with our skin, something wrong with our lips, something wrong with our hair? And to look like what? Them? And then they don't even want to look like them. I mean, they go tan themselves, Trump. They go tan themselves. They don't like their own color. They a lot of them go get lip injections. Now they getting the BBLs. We talking about Becky and them. They're getting the BBLs and all of you know, of course they've been getting breast implants, but all the BBL thing, that wasn't their thing. And yet they go and get that too. But, you know, like I always said, Becky is not going to let a black woman have nothing. If a black woman is getting attention for anything, she going to make sure she's the first in line to go get it. I've seen that my whole life. It don't matter what it is. If a black woman fix her hair a certain way, she going to eventually do it. If a black woman is fixing her eyebrows a certain way, she going to do it. If a black woman getting a certain type of plastic surgery, she going to do it. She is not going to let a black woman have her shine. I've seen it so many times. Yes, you got black Cubans. Oh, yes, you do. You got plenty of black people in Latin America. Oh, yes, you do. Straight black people. You got black Mexicans, black Cubans, Panamanians, Hondurans. And let's go back to what I said before. How is it that all the people that look like us in Latin America, you never see them in them caravans talking about coming up here for a better life? It's never the ones that look like us. And it's a lot more black people in Latin America than it is up here in the United States. And I never see caravans full of black folks from Latin America coming up here talking about they want a better life. So what's really going on? Are the black folks in Latin America didn't figure it out? The black Latinos, they didn't figure it out? They know how to make it? Of course they know how to make it, because most of them are descendants of slaves. So, yeah, they know how to make it. That's just in us to know how to make it. We ain't had the option and the liberty to run. Yeah, I seen that eyelid surgery in East Asia. Yeah, I seen that. And for what? For what? That's the way God made you, then be yourself. Why do you want to get rid of, like even black folks, some of them getting that rhinoplasty. In other words, nose job. You know, why? And then if you're going to do it, go to a doctor who specializes in black people. Don't go to the doctor that they're going to make you have a white nose. Because I've seen some doctors that actually do rhinoplasty on a black person, and they specialize in black people type noses, and it still look like them. It may be, you know, a little different, because maybe they got a hump up here or something about their nose. Maybe they feel like they don't like their nose is too wide, but maybe they cut it down just a little bit or whatever, you know, but it still look like them. Like if you're going to do it, go to a doctor that specialize in black people. Because sometimes, you know, on some women, I would say some women more than men, you know, certain type of noses can make them, you know, feel uneasy because it makes them look, you know, some can make them look more masculine and feminine. So maybe they want to change that about themselves. I mean, I'm not the person to police people what they do with their body. It's their money, it's their choice. I'm just saying that if you're going to do it, don't come out here looking like a white woman, because why? You said scissor. What did scissor do? Did scissor have a nose surgery? Because you mentioned scissor. Oh yeah. Well, you say the white Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, and Cubans, but still not European. No, they're not going to accept them either. Not from this side. Yeah, some people bleach. Some people have bleach, and I don't know why. I mean, I think that's silly. Why, with the cake soap stuff and all that. Like, why? Why do you want to get rid of your man? It's nothing wrong with having dark skin. There's nothing wrong. Nothing. The darker your skin, as long as you take care of yourself, of course, the better. You're gonna age slower. You got more protection from the sun. I mean, shoot, you're God's children. You're the child of the sun. I mean, shoot, you soak up the rays of the sun. Why would you want to get rid of that? Okay, now I don't know what this scissor do, because now I have to go see. Let me see what y'all talking about. Now I have to go to Google and see what this scissor do. Let me see. I'm gonna type in her name. Hold on, let me type this in. Y'all keep mentioning her. Okay, I see what y'all. I see what y'all talking about. Yeah, I see what y'all talking about. Why did she do that to her nose? Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all what they talking about. Why did she do that? Hold on, I'm show y'all. There was nothing wrong with her nose. Let's see if I can get the images. Okay. Let's see, where's... Yeah, I don't know why she... Let's see if I can download this picture right here. Give me a second, I'll show y'all real quick. Why did she do that to herself? Let's see, image file. Okay. So that's scissor on the screen there, folks. And if you could see, that was her surgery on the left, and how she look now. I mean, on the right is what she used to look like, and now on the left, that's why did she get that surgery? It was I didn't see nothing was wrong with her nose. Like, do y'all see anything wrong with her nose? Like, I didn't see. And a lot of times, let me say something. A lot of times, and men don't even understand this. A lot of times, when women do things, it's not even for us. A lot of times, women do things to compete with other women. And I just don't understand. I've never understand that. It's like most men aren't asking for all that. Trust me, men, it doesn't take much to impress a man. It really don't. But she chopped her nose up, and I don't, I don't know. So unnecessary. Such a waste of money. So yeah, I see what y'all talking about. And people that start that plastic surgery, my thing is, if you're gonna do plastic surgery, don't mess your face. Don't start messing your face up. But listen, if you mess your face up, that's it. Look at Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim, if y'all remember how Lil' Kim looked before, it was nothing wrong with Lil' Kim. You look at her today like, what did you do? I'm going to say a couple of surgeries she had, it was okay. I'm going to say the last surgery she had, she still looked like herself. It was the one, I think, 2001 era, with that song, The Jump Off. If you go look at that video, she still looked like herself. She had some surgery, but she still looked like herself. But that next surgery after that one, she looked like herself no more. I'm like, what? Why did you keep messing your face up? Like, don't touch your face. Like, you're going to mess up. And once a doctor mess your face up, that's it. You're done. Well, you know, I mean, you say Michael Jackson's father used to tease him about his nose. Well, I mean, we all been teased. It doesn't mean you go chop yourself up. I mean, we all been teased. There was nothing wrong with Michael. Nothing wrong with Michael at all. Michael had, you know, I think one surgery. I think the first surgery or whatever, or maybe the second one, he still kind of looked like himself, but then he got to a point, he kept chopping his nose, and it's like, bro, what did you do with yourself, brother? You know, it's just crazy. But really, a lot of that's people need therapy. That's therapy. Surgery not gonna fix the affairs of the heart. You need therapy. Because you'll get that nose you want, you'll get that body you want, and you'll still have issues. If you're insecure about whatever issues within yourself, it needs to be talked about in therapy. The surgeon, that's an expensive thing to do to yourself. You're going to feel good for a minute, then because you still have insecurities, you're going to find something wrong with what you've done to your body. You know what I'm saying? So just deal with your issues in therapy. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of late. Thank y'all for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. Get the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Once you do that, hit create account, and it'll be monthly, quarterly, or yearly. As you know, our Friday streams from now on is going to be only exclusive on the African Diaspora News Channel app. We don't have to hold back in stories and different things that we want to cover. Ladies and gentlemen, I had somebody that, you know, of course, you know, people get mad about that. Why you want to put it on the app? Why you don't put it on YouTube? You know, this and that and the third, because like, I'm not going to go through that. Like, well, people say this on YouTube. Yeah. And you know what? Over the 12 years I've been on this platform, a lot of people are gone. A lot of people are gone. Why are they gone? Because they'll listen to people like you and saying things they should have been saying on YouTube. And then YouTube snipes them. And that's it. They gone. They can't come back. You know how many content creators I know personally that YouTube won't let come on here no more? And some of them, I told myself, hey, chill out with what you're saying. Hey, don't post that kind of content. Don't go too far. Oh, no, this and that and the third. And then something happened. And then they're like, man, I'm like, it's so many of them I knew personally over the years. I told chill out and what they saying. Don't do this. Don't move like that. Do this. Now, some listened, but then some didn't. But even if it's the people that I knew or even people I did not know, they're not on the platform no more. So forget you, because I know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say certain things on this platform. I'm not going to report on certain stories on this platform when I know that's not what they don't like. That's the point of having an app. Now, if you have said that you don't want to be on, you want to be on it, but you don't want to be on it, I don't know. It's not for you. We post things over here all the time. But then as that app grow, some things over here are going to start, minimizing as that grow, right? We still post here, but some of it may be minimized because we got to cater more to the people on the app at that point, right? So that's that. Now, we're not there yet, but still. So I like when we can talk about things. Don't have to worry about, oh man, we'll get demonetized. Oh man, we'll get a strike. Trust me, that's true freedom, man. That's freedom. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. It's very important. And we'll see you definitely on the next one tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But Friday, as we said before, we're going to do the stream on African Diaspora News Channel app. So just go ahead on. If you join now, it'd be great. That way you won't miss out on anything.